Well, hello, JennyEason here, and today we're going to do something a little different. I bought a book called How to Survive Anything a few years ago, and it's just been one of those things that got dusty on my bookshelf, and I pulled it out maybe last week and started looking through it, and I want to share some of the information in the book. I'll just basically read some parts of the book. Now, I know the subject of prepping, preparedness can be a challenge for some that want to rely only on faith, and I see nothing wrong with either. So the chapter I will read from today is entitled "The Grid is Down." Now, I will do more of these if you like it, so you let me know in the comment section. And of course, I will present it in a way that is calm. Let's drop a little beat because of the subject. The grid is down. The fridge is full of cold beer and frozen food. The hospital is full of life-supporting technology. Our computers give us all the information in the world. And if the electrical grid went down, all of this would cease in the blink of an eye. We've all dealt with the annoyance of an electrical outage that lasted for a few hours or perhaps even a few days. Maybe a thunderstorm knocked out the power, or maybe we forgot to pay the bill. Either way, our plugged-in home is now offline and inoperable. Our freezer lets the ice cream melt, the microwave stops cooking, and our TV has become a lifeless black screen, all due to the lack of electrical energy flowing to them. In rural areas, short outages are not uncommon, and in the wake of a disaster like Hurricanes Katrina or Sandy, the juice could be down for weeks. In these longer outages, civilization can unravel quickly. As spoiled and convenience-oriented people are forced to live a different kind of lifestyle. No electricity means little to no commerce, hampered medical care, limited travel, hindered communication, and a constant struggle for things like clean water and hot food. Most elements of our modern lifestyle would be severely crippled by a long and widespread grid failure. What are the odds? Power grids are fragile systems especially when damaged by a major disaster or by successful hackers. They are also one of the most valuable systems of any nation and are typically treated accordingly. Since electrical power is the energy source for most modern technology, it's far too valuable to lose. All threats to the grid are taken seriously, so chances are slim that something malicious could happen to it. That being said, most electrical grids are aging systems full of expensive and hard to replace parts, and the demand for their power is continuously increasing due to a growing population and tech supply. Could it go down? Sure. Will it go down in your lifetime? Well, how lucky do you feel? Basic survival. The power's out and your freezer is full of frozen food that is quickly becoming mush. What do you do after 1 day, 3 days, a week, or a month sans power? Let's say you're listening to your battery-powered radio the day after an outage and you discover that it's not just you, the whole electrical grid is down. Eat your most perishable foods first. Make a delicious meal with all the ice cream. The next meal can be frozen pizza cooked outdoors on a grill or by using a Dutch oven and briquettes. If you're hoping the power will be back any minute, go around the house to turn off or unplug all unnecessary or sensitive equipment. Electric stove, computers, TV. So an electrical spike wouldn't damage them when the power is restored. After 3 days without power, the fridge will be about empty, and you'll be dipping into the canned food and dried goods. Discard any questionable or potentially unsafe foods that have a foul odor, color, or texture. If you're lucky and in a residential area, your local water tower will probably still be working, so you'll still have drinking water, but for how long? After 1 week, chances are good that municipal water and sewage services will be out. This means that you'll have to devise ways to collect and disinfect your drinking water. You'll also need to figure out how to make an outhouse or at least a bucket toilet. The average household will also be running out of food, candles, batteries, and sanity by now. After a month of living off the grid, the vast majority of unprepared people would be starving. You'd need to spend all of your time trying to beg, borrow, barter, or steal in order to get food. This length of crisis would make violent crime a common day job for many and reduce almost anyone to a hand-to-mouth existence. People living in the country on farms may seem to hold it together, but they would be under constant siege from marauders, beggars, and refugees. Tech workarounds. The grid is the heart of the modern world, and electricity its lifeblood. But there are a few workarounds for short-term grid failure or the first week of a long-term disaster that can circumvent the modern electrical grid. One of the most important things to have in a power outage event is a way to charge your cell phone. Solar chargers are a nice investment, and AA battery cell phone chargers are cheaper and more commonly available than solar. You can also use your car charger for devices as long as the gas holds out. A larger briefcase size solar panel will charge devices like phones and tablets, but not laptops. After a lengthy outage, cell phone towers probably won't be working, but a pricey satellite phone should still be operational, assuming you have someone to call who's as prepared as you are in this crisis and whatever crisis may come your way next. Good to know. The electrical grid. The grid is a complex and interconnected network that delivers electricity from the producers to the consumers. There are electrical generating stations that create the power, high voltage transmission lines that carry the power, and distribution lines for the customers. There are 3 grids in the continental United States: East, West, and Texas. True or false? Hackers could crash the grid at any time. False. Though there are daily attempts to enter and damage the U.S. electrical grid's computer systems from domestic hackers and outside agents, none are successful. Their agendas are diverse, and thankfully so are the methods that combat these unwelcomed guests. The multitude of security specialists within the power companies and other organizations have successfully protected us since the birth of hacking. And let's hope they keep succeeding at their vital job. Otherwise, we'll be bounced back to a little house on the prairie lifestyle, minus the civility and skills to be self-reliant. The stats. 1 billion. Number of people affected by blackouts in India in 2012. The largest power outage in history. 32 gigawatts. Estimated electrical capacity taken down during the power outage in India. 2 months. Duration of power outages in Christchurch, New Zealand in 2011. 80% of the city lost power as a result of an earthquake. 48 hours. Maximum time that a full freezer will safely hold food without power. Refrigerators hold food safely up to 24 hours. 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Temperature threshold above which refrigerated or frozen foods should be discarded. And that would be 4.5 degrees Celsius. 1,037 fires reported during the New York City blackout of 1977. This includes 14 multiple alarm fires. 3,776 people arrested in the 1977 New York City blackout, the largest mass arrest in the city's history. Well, that concludes the chapter of When the Grid Goes Down. If you would like me to read other chapters, let me know in the comments section. I will show you some of the options. Some are pretty wild, like zombies. But again, no fear in preparedness. And those that trust in Jah, no fear whatsoever, right? So stay encouraged, and in all things, seek wisdom first. Thank you. Love you all, and God bless you.